Hey everybody, this is Detective Greg Bacon from the Tempe Police Department's Media Relations Unit. I'm at the Bike Squad Mechanic Shop and I'm here to talk to Officer Ryan Conway. How long have you been on the police department first, Ryan?
Hey there, I'm an officer for 14 years and I've been on the Bike Squad for over 8 years now.
One thing that we see here when you come into the mechanic shop is there's a lot of bikes hanging up on racks. Talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, this is our fleet. We have a full-time squad of 18 officers and we have extra bikes for folks who want to come down and help us out on busy weekends and holidays and stuff like that. So all of our fleet is going to be hung up here where we can grab them and hit the road.
Okay. And then one thing I looked at when I was walking through here is I noticed very organized. You have, like, for example, there's a helmet and it says B717 with a bag. Talk to me about that.
Well, we got to keep them organized, so these indicates this is this officer's equipment and this is where we're going to house for everything we need to operate out on the road. So just like the cops in the cars, we need paperwork and things to get the job done out on the road, and these bags just fix to our bikes and we're out there doing the same jobs as the folks in the car.
Makes sense. And I assume, like, where it says B717, that's that person's call sign.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And then when you kind of look around, you got a workbench and then there's like a bicycle here that's sort of half put together. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so we have a fully functional mechanic shop here. We have everything we need to put our bikes together and maintain them. So our bikes come in these frames. We have the parts to put them together, and then we customize them to those individuals' needs, their height, weight, different sizes. But all the parts come into us, and then we customize the bikes out from there.
So basically what you're saying is the police department mechanics, so there are officers who are also bike mechanics?
Correct.
And
yes.
they build our bicycles for us?
Yes. Not every officer on the bike squad knows how to build a bike, but we do have those advanced trained officers to take care of them for us. But then every officer is responsible for their own maintenance, and so we know the minor things to keep the bikes running.
Okay. And I imagine there's probably some cost savings of having our own people do as opposed to going out and sending them to be repaired or built.
Absolutely. Yeah, the bike squad's been together for over 25 years and we've looked at what it would cost to have outside mechanics maintain our bikes and do that maintenance, and the prices that we would get from vendors is much more than what we found to just have officers trained in that area and then fix our own bike.
Talk to us about some safety tips. You know, right now, during this time, a lot of kids are at home. Kids are probably riding their bicycles and things like that. We want them to do things safely. So give us some tips that we can educate our youth on some bicycle safety.
Absolutely. Let me grab my helmet here, because this is the first thing we harp on when it comes to bike safety. We don't want kids getting on their bikes unless they don't have their helmet on. I don't let my kids get out on the road unless they're wearing these helmets.
And you always wear your helmet when you're out in the street.
Absolutely, yeah. Every officer is assigned their own helmet, and we got to wear them while we're out on the road. So the big thing is when you're wearing these helmets are these straps. These straps are going to help keep the helmet on, and the helmet size, you don't want it super floppy and being able to fall off. You want it nice and fit so where it doesn't move around too much, and then these straps are going to keep them on your head. Most folks will have it super loose, don't know what to do with these things. Really, you should be making a nice V on your ear to make sure that it's nice and snug. You don't want your strap pinching the skin of the kids, because then they're not going to like putting the helmets on. But make sure you have a nice finger width in there to get the buckle snapped nice and snug. It's not pulling or scratching on the kids, but it's not going to fall off when you're riding around. So bike helmets really are the #1 priority first when it comes to bike safety.
Okay. What are some other tips? Should there be any concerns about tire pressure or anything like that?
Yeah, kids probably aren't going to remember that stuff, but or the parents at home when you're helping pump up the tires and stuff. Every tire is going to have a PSI number on it, what they recommend the tire be inflated to. So if you have a pump with a gauge on it, or a pump, or get a little hand gauge that tells you where the tire pressure is at, you're really going to want to keep it around that number where that tire's at. That's going to keep the tire strong and durable for not going flat, and then you're not going to be fixing a bunch of flat tires that way.
Okay. Any sort of riding tips? Where should kids be riding on the road, sidewalk, things like that?
Sure thing. We preach here in the city of Tempe that every rider, big and small, need to be riding on the right side of the roadway. When you're going with the flow of traffic, you're going to be more visible to the cars on the roadway and to other bicyclists on the road. So we want you to stay to the right of the road when you're on the roadway, or in the bike lane always going with the flow of traffic, even on the sidewalk. As you mentioned, if you're riding on the sidewalk, still go with that flow of traffic.
And are there any age restrictions? I know some new laws have come out about bicycle riding in Tempe in the last several months, and so are there any restrictions on who can ride in the sidewalk, who should ride in the sidewalk versus the bike lane, things like that?
Yeah, the parents, if they don't feel comfortable having their kids on the roadway, they're more than welcome to ride on the sidewalks with them. They do have to yield to the pedestrians that are on the sidewalk, and really with the scooters that are coming around, those aren't bicycles, but usually the new laws come out, they don't want those kids riding those on the roadway with them. They should be on the sidewalk.
Any other safety tips that you can provide? Anything about seats? Is there anything that children should be aware of, or even adult riders should be aware of on the seat?
Yeah, you want to make sure it's nice and snug on here. This little lever here twists up, locks those seats in place so they're not sinking on the kids while they're riding, causing a crash on there. So when you get the bike, give it a good look over, make sure this is nice and tight, that seat's not going to fall off or sink on the bike when they're riding. And then when it comes to chains and brakes, just making sure they're clean, maintained. Every bike shop has chain cleaning kits, oil for them, keeps them well maintained. That way they're not getting junk in there and the chain's not locking up on the kids or things like that.
Okay. Well, we really appreciate you spending some time with us, showing us the bike shop, going through the bike mechanic shop, going through some safety tips, talking to us a little bit today. We really appreciate you, appreciate what you're doing for us, and be safe out there.
You're welcome.
We hope that was really informative. This is going to be a series of interviews that we're going to do through our police department so that you can get to know some of our officers and we can relay some safety tips. Again, I'm Detective Greg Bacon from the Media Relations Unit, and we'll see you again soon.